Okay, I think I have everything in order. Except I have auto white balance on. That's gonna mess me up. Give me a second. Okay, so the refresh on this screen is not showing up. That's good. I don't have anything else to use as a frame of reference, but usually if it works, if it looks good on the 20th, then it looks good, period. I can dampen it a little bit, knock it a little bit down. All right, I think we're in order. I think we're all good. I think we're here and we're ready. A little insight on me. A little insight on how I do things. So hey guys, welcome back to DigiDaily. I'm your host, Xanaxdu, and as you can see, Mothra still has not evolved yet. Hopefully it does not require a full justice meter, because I have not been able to catch her attacking Tokyo. But when they do attack Tokyo, I believe the meter lowers every time they do it. So I don't think they've done it anytime soon. But I have been leaving this by itself a lot. Like I just got back from cooking, made some tostones. If you know what that is, then you know. And some like barbecue, you know, like fried chicken that was like battered. It was good. It was real good. But now I am tired. And I'm hot as hell. It's hotter today than I feel like it was yesterday. And now there's a damn fly flying around my room because we got the windows open. And even though the screens are down, they just find a way. The little tiny ones get in here and they grow, and it's annoying. And I keep looking for it, but it keeps flying around. I'm gonna try to kill it when this is over, though. So yeah, let's just get into the news. I know a lot of you guys are rooting for me in the tournament. If you guys are in the Digimon Online I keep wanting to call it a subreddit. Oh my god. If you are in the Discord, then you already know that sadly, your boy has been struck down by the one and only Little Siri. Her and her Machine Dramon whooped Piedmon's little butt. It was like almost a complete sweep. Pretty crazy, honestly. You know, it's all, you know, it's just like so interesting. This whole tournament's been like super interesting to watch. A lot of interesting upsets happened. And, you know, like, this match was also super interesting because Little Siri was in losers in the first place because she fought Piedmon, which was also being raised on the Pen 20th. So she fought mine and pretty much had, like, no issues, like, defeating it. So, very interesting. This tournament really has just been, had some really interesting outcomes. So, yes, sadly, your boy didn't get the W. Not getting that gold name, but I do hope that Little Siri pulls it out at the end and gets the win, because that would be pretty sick. Because I believe this is only like her second tournament. So yeah, that'd be really cool. So best of luck to Little Siri. And I really do hope she wins. I don't know. I haven't been very active today, sadly, so I don't know where she is in the tournament. I hope as I'm recording this, she's still in. I'd feel real bad if I'm recording this and like I go to look after I'm done, you know, recording it and editing it. I go back and look and like turns out like she lost today. That'd be upsetting. But hopefully she's doing well. Hopefully she's still in the tournament. I hope she does win. Yeah, that's really it. So they're still. I mean, you saw the screen. They're still in the. They're still frozen because I need to find a Vamdemon so that I can make Piedmon into Voltabumon. But I will say I really enjoyed Piedmon. I enjoyed raising him. I kind of want to commission some art of me and Piedmon. I think that'd be great. I don't know, I just felt the connection with Piedmon during this this hatch. His sprite may be creepy, but he is a strong Digimon, and we got pretty far. This is the furthest I've gotten in a while. I've been getting knocked out pretty early the past couple tournaments from my memory. I could be wrong though, but I remember not really lasting very long in the other tournaments I had. But this one, I did pretty well, lasted pretty long, so yeah, that kind of gave me like this newfound respect for Piedmon. I always wanted to raise him, and I always liked him, but this really was like, man, you know what, Piedmon, you're okay in my book. I don't care what anyone else says about you. But you know, that's the nature of being the trash lord. You gotta take care of the Digimon no one likes. And for Piedmon, I'll take care of him, and I do like him. So yeah, that's kind of it, sadly. It does suck. Ugh, God. Sorry, I'm like, you know, like when you eat a lot and you're just like, oh god. I know I said this the other day because I keep filming after cooking and eating. That's just how I am. So sorry if I'm making like gross noises in the camera. It's just how it be, you know. So I've said I was going to answer this yesterday and totally forgot, but thankfully I remembered today. So we got a comment. Oh, first of all, oh cool, Kai Clark finally got their X3 yellow. So awesome! I'm very happy for you. Let me look for it. Bart Simpson, also known as Rami Dos Tech Boy, he's evolved. He's changed his name. So he mentioned, and I don't remember when. There we go. He asked me a really interesting question that I don't think I've ever actually been asked. I've been asked before what my favorite device is. Been asked that multiple times, but no one's ever asked me what's my least favorite device. So I wanted to kind of like answer that in a video instead of in a comment, because that could be a really interesting discussion that we can kind of open up. So with me personally, and this is just the nature of, you know, collecting. And when I start collecting, I always start with things I think I'd like, or I want / like. So I don't have a lot of devices in my collection that I would say I dislike. So yeah, that's just the start. With what I have currently, to be honest, and this is not indicative of me saying it sucks, it's not worth the money. Well, it's debatable, but it's not me saying I don't like the device at all and it sucks and like it's horrible. But if I were to pick my least favorite device, it'd honestly have to be the Piedmon 20th, and that is this one that I'm running right now. I know a little. It's not. I wouldn't say it's exactly a controversial statement, but not many people are as critical on this device as I am. At least I don't hear it a lot, especially anymore, because no one's really running these anymore. Because the people that are critical with them know why they, you know, it's hard to run this because there's a lot of issues with this device. So this device is, like I said before, almost perfect, which is why I'm excited that the next device is going to be like a pendulum, because this deserves another go around, because the first time doing it wasn't the best. And I hope when Bandai America releases their version, it's going to be a bit less glitchy than this one. And that's the big reason why this is my least favorite, is because it's so glitchy. So I remember when I first opened these, and, you know, before these came out, I was able to actually finally get a pendulum of my own, which is the version 1. And this one's pretty sturdy, definitely was well loved, it worked pretty well, and the plastic is really nice. I'm not a huge fan of the marbling on the plastic. And marbling, I mean, like, if you look, who the hell was I running on here? Oh yeah, I forgot, I had, say Brilliant when he died a long time ago, but I just kept the battery in for some reason. That marbling effect, I'm not a huge fan of that in toys. And, you know, this has that, and that's just kind of the aesthetic. That's, you know, that's just what it is. And this one has it too, but this one, I don't know. There's something about the Piedmon 20th that looks cheaper. It just looks cheap. It feels cheap. Like, this plastic does not feel very good, which I've mentioned before. I remember when I first opened this, I said it. I was like, this plastic is very, like, kind of, like, worrying. It's very cheapy. The screen scratches pretty easily. You can't see the scratches on my screen. The screen scratches are just so easy to get rid of nowadays, so it's not a huge big deal. But definitely, like, the quality of the plastic for this device, not up to par with what I would expect from a premium Bandai device, especially given, you know, their track record. I was very disappointed when I first felt the plastic on this device. And last but not least, and the reason why this one is hacked specifically, because for some reason the blue one, which I do have back there, is not as glitchy as the black and gray one. I don't really know why. There's just something wrong with it. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't think anyone ever looked into why it's the case, but most people who have problems, if they own both of any version, really, because the Piedmon version is also more glitchy than the Dukemon color. It's like this one of the Piedmon color. I don't know why. A lot of, like, this one I had a lot of issues with. This one sounds quieter for a while. This one's buttons were messed up. Again, it might have been a battery issue, but I did have to open this up because the the pendulum wasn't working, which is really the accelerometer in here. And, you know, it's just really, it's got great things in it, like, especially when you hack one of these, Jesus, like, I have so many eggs on this device, it's amazing. But the biggest issue is the fact that, like, you know, that's cool and all, but, like, this device is very finicky. It's very easy for your data to just get completely wiped from it. I've seen a lot of horror stories. I've done it myself, but I did it when I was hacking it, and that was my own fault, really. But I've seen other people who own these put a battery back in it and had, like, all their data completely wiped. And that is upsetting. It's not cool. And that's the scariest part about running these. Every time I put a battery in this, I swear to you guys, I get a little worried every single time I put a battery in this, or even if I take a battery out, I always get worried. The rule of thumb is to definitely reset the device before you take the battery out. Never put a dead or dying battery in these, because that's also an issue. I've got it on camera, but my blue one, I put a dying battery in it. My save wasn't on there. Had to start a new save right before the egg hatched. The device died. I put a brand new battery in it, and then it went back to working just as normal. My save was back. So, like, that's the thing with these devices. You know, they're very glitchy when it comes to that kind of stuff. You can't put a tab in. I tried putting a tab in, I think it was this one, and when I took it out, I think it was like Loosemon was on the screen, like if I was raising him, even though he's not a raisable Digimon on here. And then the screen glitched out, and it started making crazy noises. I hit the reset button, and thankfully, my data was not wiped. So, you know, there's a lot of negatives to this device, which is why it's my least favorite. And like I said, it's almost perfect. That's the problem. Like, you know, the pendulum is fun. The Piedmon mechanic is, like, super fun. I love Piedmon. He's adorable. I like how they worked him into the battle mechanics. I like the look of the pendulums. I think it's a very interesting look. I really like it. I've always liked it. Again, that's another reason why I'm happy they're coming back, just because I like the aesthetic that they had for the pendulums. But, you know, like I said, the main thing is just the fact that the devices can be very glitchy, and for a device that at the time cost around, I think, $60 per device, which now cost upwards of $120 sometimes, or even more, I can't recommend that to really anyone but, like, the hardcore fans who really want to pad out, their collection, and who really want the Japanese versions in their collection. Because eventually I really do have belief that Bandai will release the pendulums eventually in America. At least I hope they do. But if they never do, you know, this is the only one you can get, and it's very expensive, and I really, especially for the black one or the Piedmon color, I probably wouldn't recommend it, just because they can be so glitchy. If you can find a good deal, you know, I'd say go ahead. If you're comfortable, once you've unlocked all the eggs on your device, if you have the black one or the Piedmon color, you can start playing around with the jumpers and unlocking all the other eggs. Just be careful, because you could wipe your save like I did. But that makes it worth the risk, in my opinion. Like, that made it really worth it. That really completely kind of 180'd me on the device. The blue one, I love. It runs better. It's a lot less glitchy. It's a lot louder. But this black one specifically, not my favorite device. Definitely my least favorite. Well, it was, at least for a long time, my least favorite. I shouldn't say that now, because now it's not as glitchy as it used to be. I haven't had many issues with this. And after hacking it, it's become, like, my favorite. If I run a Pendulum 20th, it's usually this one, because it's hacked. I hope one day I can get another one of these, because I'd like to change the shell on this, because there are sellers that sell shells for the 20ths. I'd love to buy a new shell for my Pendulum 20th, but I don't want to, like, sacrifice this one completely. I'd like to have one, you know, even if it's used. Wow, that's not like Porky Pig for a second there, but even if it's used, I would still buy it, because I have the box. You know, I just want one that looks nice, so I can put it in the box and, you know, put away. And then this one, because I already played with it, you know, just switch the case, the shell around, and, you know, just have fun with my hacked Pen 20th. I'd love to do that, because I really am not, like I said, I'm not a fan of this. color, the gray, I'm not crazy about. The black is alright. It's kind of boring, really. Nothing to write home about. So yeah, I've gone on long enough about that. That's how I feel. But that's just me. Let me know what your least favorite device is in your collection, or just in general. Do you have a least favorite device? Like, you've seen enough of it on YouTube to know that it's not really your cup of tea. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm actually really interested. I know someone mentioned on yesterday's episode that they do want to see the progress PET for the June 1st hatch, which is like the take excuse me, the digiless hatch. So I'll probably be running that one then. But like I said, I'll do a proper poll on the channel on the community tab for the digiless hatch. I'll probably put it up today as you're watching this, or tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that, because it is June 1st, which is Monday. So, you know, Monday will still be with Mothra because she hasn't evolved yet, and she'll take a while to die. Whoever I get at the last evolution, I don't want to kill it immediately or reset the device. So we're going to be playing with Mothra for a while. But like I said, I do have Eevee, which, another thing I mentioned, thank you, Omega Scourge. I mentioned, I completely forgot, I had the graphic up for the Digihatch when I was showing this off, so a lot of people didn't see it. And I know I have a lot of new subscribers, because they probably didn't see it when I was running it a while back now, I think a year ago. This is my case for my Eevee Tamagotchi. This is a case, this is crocheted, it was handmade by someone. I think their shop name is That Nerdy Hooker on Etsy, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it's a cute little case. It's for the Tamagotchi Nano. I don't know if she made this specifically for the Eevee one, or she just like, cause she has a lot of Pokemon stuff in there and a lot of Tamagotchi stuff in there. I think it's just something she made before this even came out, which I thought was cool. So there's two that she had at the time. I don't know if she makes these anymore, but there was this one, which is normal base Eevee, and a Sylveon one. Jessica has the Sylveon one. I have the Eevee one, and it's adorable, and I love it. And it fits a Tamagotchi Nano in there perfectly, keeps it nice and safe from dust and from falling and breaking. I'm probably not going to keep it in here when I'm running it, just because I have it in there for when I'm carrying it around. I don't need it if I'm going to be at home, like I said yesterday. In other news, I tested for COVID. Not because I think I have it, but just because I'm going to be seeing Jessica this weekend. And before anyone, you know, gets worried or freaks out or calls me an idiot, we're doing this carefully. We're not going to be going anywhere. Jessica has been getting tested now, finally. Her job has been giving out tests and doing tests every week on all their employees, which includes Jess. So both tests so far have been negative, and so she's fine. And me, I wanted to get tested myself just to make sure that I don't have anything. I didn't want to bring anything to her or whatever. So yeah, I did that. It was kind of scary just because you're in like a Walmart park. I did it at Walmart, and it was, in the Walmart parking lot, and everyone's like, in the gowns and the face shields and stuff, and it's a little like anxiety inducing. And the actual test was painful. It was this scratchy, felt like kind of spongy material, and it really itched, and it was really far in my nose, and you can't sneeze because then you have to do it all over again, and you have to leave it in for 15 seconds, but they do have a timer on them, so they did time me. It was not easy. It sucked, but I did do it. I didn't sneeze. The guy kept telling me, like, man, you're doing a great job. He just kept telling me, he's like, you're doing great. Like, you're doing great. I'm pretty sure because he has to deal with people, like, pulling it out and sneezing, like, oh, I can't do it. But I pushed through, and I did it. I'll be getting my test results as you're watching this, hopefully. And then I'm going to go meet Jess. So I'm very happy about that. I haven't seen her in, like, almost 3 months. So, yeah, just very excited. But I just wanted to mention that. I don't know why. Just wanted to tell you guys that I did get tested, and, if anyone else, I don't know, maybe if anyone else is like anxious about getting it done, it's really not hard. I mean, yeah, it's uncomfortable, but it's temporary. You can power through it. If I can do it, you can too. So if anyone's ever worried about that, you can do it. It's possible. I now know how it feels. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. You guys are the best. Huge shout out to my patrons, Omega Scourge, Casey Joes. You guys are also the best. I don't like to play favorites, but you two specifically are really cool because you really help out the channel. Because just that little bit of money really does help. It's not even funny. So yeah, I'm gonna go. Thank you guys so much for watching. and cut.